Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. My YouTube channel. We just finished the Bible study of Ezekiel chapter 29 and 30. Ezekiel chapter 29 and 30. The title of this is God's Judgment of Egypt, the nation to the southwest. Gives us 7 descriptions of the coming judgment. This is part 1, actually. This chapter actually breaks down into 4 parts. The first part is God's judgment will slay the monstrous leaders of nations and the citizens who follow them. This gives us a picture of God's controlling the fate of all the nations in chapter 29 verses 1 to 16. Second, God's judgment will pay the wages due. What does that mean? That gives us a picture of the wages of sin and of the reward for service. You'll see that with King Nebuchadnezzar. That's in chapter 29 verses 17 to 21. Third, you'll see in these 2 chapters, God's judgment would be stormy, a sad day of doom. This gives us a picture of the day of the Lord, and we'll see this in chapter 30 verses 1 to 19. And the last part of these chapters is God's judgment would break the arm of the powerful. This gives us a picture of calamity and ruin due to self-sufficiency, believing in yourself, in your own power, in your own strength, in your own, if in the flesh of this world. You'll see that in chapter 30 verses 20 to 26. Let me give you a brief introduction and tell you a little bit about what it's about. Egypt is the 7th and final nation that Ezekiel pronounced God's judgment upon. The prophet paid far more attention to Egypt than it did to any other nation. 4 complete chapters, 1/12 of the entire book of Ezekiel, focus on God's coming judgment upon unbelieving Egyptians. In these 4 chapters, Ezekiel gives Egypt 7 messages from God. These messages are easy to spot because each one begins with these words: "The word of the Lord came to me." These messages were so important that Ezekiel recorded the date that he preached them, except in one case, and that's chapter 30, verse 1. He probably did not record the date of the third message because he delivered it immediately after the second one. Remember that Ezekiel was given these prophecies to the Jewish exiles, and that news did not travel fast enough in those days. Nevertheless, with God at work behind the scene, and the news will soon reach the Egyptians and other nations in the Middle East. This is God's judgment of Egypt, the nation of the southwest, the 7 descriptions of judgment. And I hope that this was interesting, it was helpful, it was valuable to you. Make sure you study it. If you got any value from this, please like this video, as well as make sure you follow me if you want to see more videos like this. God bless you and God bless your family.